Climate change isn't just a global problem. It's a global emergency. And while every country feels its impact, some places are being pushed to the limit through rising seas, deadly heat waves, extreme storms, and disappearing land. Today, we're exploring the 7 countries most affected by climate change, and some of their stories are shocking, emotional, and even heartbreaking. And trust me, number 1 is something the world still isn't ready for. Let's begin. Bangladesh is often called ground zero for climate change, and for a reason. A third of the country sits barely above sea level, and millions live near rivers that overflow with every storm. Every year, Bangladesh experiences massive monsoon flooding, deadly cyclones, riverbanks collapsing and swallowing entire villages, and salt water invading farmland. Scientists predict that 1 in 7 Bangladeshis may become climate refugees in the next few decades. Entire communities are already relocating inland because the land they lived on for generations has vanished underwater. And yet, what's remarkable is that Bangladesh remains one of the most resilient countries on Earth, building floating schools, floating farms, and even floating hospitals. This is a country fighting climate change in real time. Australia faces some of the most dramatic climate extremes on the planet. In recent years, the country has been hit by record-breaking heat waves, massive droughts, and the infamous Black Summer wildfires that burned millions of hectares. Australia has experienced record-breaking temperatures over the last decade. Some regions have reached over 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, pushing infrastructure, wildlife, and human health to their limits. The climate crisis is also destroying one of the world's natural wonders, the Great Barrier Reef, which has suffered repeated mass bleaching events. Australia's wildlife, koalas, kangaroos, and hundreds of unique species, has been devastated by rising temperatures and intense bushfires. And while Australia is a wealthy nation, climate change is pushing its ecosystems to a breaking point. India is home to more than 1 billion people, and many live in areas now facing extreme heat and water shortages. India experiences some of the highest surface temperatures on Earth during summer. Heat waves have reached temperatures so high that roads have melted, schools have closed, and major cities have run out of water. Rivers like the Ganges are shrinking, while Himalayan glaciers, which supply water to hundreds of millions, are melting far faster than expected. India's climate challenges are massive, but so are its efforts to adapt, from expanding solar power to creating early warning systems for heat waves. If you're finding this journey through the world's climate hotspots meaningful or eye-opening, make sure to subscribe to World in 7 and hit the like button. Now, let's get back to the list. The Philippines is struck by more tropical storms than almost any other country in the world. And due to climate change, these storms are becoming stronger, faster, and more destructive. Typhoon Haiyan, one of the strongest cyclones ever recorded, destroyed entire cities and left lasting scars on the nation. Every year, Filipinos face storm surges, flash floods, landslides, and billions of dollars in damage. Many families rebuild their homes, only to see them destroyed again months later. Despite these hardships, the spirit of the Philippines remains incredibly resilient. Communities often help each other long before official aid arrives. In Somalia, Climate change isn't just an environmental crisis, it's a humanitarian one. The country has faced years of severe drought, followed by sudden flash floods, two extremes happening back to back because weather patterns are becoming unpredictable. These climate shocks have contributed to widespread crop failure, loss of livestock, water shortages, and mass internal displacement. For millions of Somalis, climate change means instability, hunger, and forced migration. It's one of the clearest examples of how climate change affects not just ecosystems, but also societies. The Maldives is a tropical paradise, but also one of the most vulnerable places on Earth. Most of the country sits less than 1 meter above sea level. Rising oceans threaten to swallow entire islands through. Constant flooding, coastal erosion, and higher storm tides. This raises a terrifying question. What happens when a country becomes uninhabitable? The Maldives is already building protective seawalls, artificial islands, and floating neighborhoods. But scientists warn that without global action, the nation could disappear within the century. Few places represent the urgency of climate change as dramatically as the Maldives. Tuvalu is one of the smallest countries in the world, and one of the most endangered. With only 11,000 inhabitants and extremely low elevation, Tuvalu faces rising sea levels, saltwater poisoning, freshwater supplies, disappearing farmland, and entire neighborhoods being submerged. In some parts of the islands, people are already moving inland, not because they want to, but because the ocean has claimed their homes. Tuvalu's government has even considered a future where the nation survives digitally, in case the physical territory becomes uninhabitable. It's a heartbreaking example of a country fighting for existence. This is not a distant problem. It's happening now. Climate change doesn't hit every country equally. For some, it's an inconvenience. For others, it's a battle for survival. But what these 7 nations show is that the impacts are real, immediate, and deeply human. Which country on this list surprised you the most? Tell me in the comments. If you found this video informative, make sure to like, subscribe, and join me next time for more stories from around the world. Discover the world with World in 7.